Hi, Cydney Sullivan here, and I'm going to take you through my signature talk, my STARS success system. I want to encourage you to be thinking about a signature talk like this for yourself, or a signature message that articulates the message that you have that helps people go from not knowing you at all to feeling like you know your area of expertise by the time they've seen you deliver this talk or they've read about it in a book, which will help you craft. I use this system now whenever somebody wants to do an online summit interview with me, or if they want to do a quick interview or a long one. I can talk about it at length, or I'm going to take you through it very, very quickly now, because it's a foundational part of what I teach when people come and hire me to help them articulate their million-dollar message or their magnificent message if it's not about money, which a lot of our clients are actually writing books for purposes that are not to do with money at all. We just recently helped a client write a beautiful book of poetry and self-development, which people are finding just to be a magical gift. So it's not always about money, and I understand that. Some of you just really have a story or an experience that you want to share with the world. So how do you go from being somebody who's maybe never really articulated that, you don't have a foundation in place to deliver your message, to being someone who can confidently write an entire book about it or deliver it in a talk, be that a 3-minute talk where you get an opportunity to be on stage, for instance, for just 2 to 3 minutes, or on the media, you need to be able to articulate your message in 1 minute when you've got media bites. Or how can you deliver it in an hour-long or 90-minute style presentation, or even expand it into an entire day's workshop or a week? So you need to have this structure in place. And the one that I use as a foundational tool is one that I've developed called the STARS system. And that's because my passion is to help people to discover their inner star. So I want you to all be stars in your own world. I call it being the celebrity in your own fish pond. I want you to be in your own circle of influence, seen as a thought leader, an influencer, credible, and an iconic authority. So how do you do that? And this is what I've learned from working with, for many, many years now, working with some of the highest paid speakers and motivational speakers in the world, working in the back end of their offices. I was working on the sales team, working in the office, watching them generate millions and millions of dollars, change thousands of lives, and build huge communities that were really integrated and connected. And let me just teach you the foundational 5 pillars for that. And the first one is S for beginning of the STARS system, and that is strengths. What are your strengths? One of the things that I find people get wrong most frequently is that they're holding themselves back from really tapping into their greatness and being empowered and making a difference in the world because they're focused on all the areas of their life where they think they need to be better. Does this resonate with you in any way? When you think about writing a book, do you worry that maybe people are not going to think, they're going to think maybe you're not smart enough, or they're going to think that you're not experienced enough? I find that being not enough of something is the #1 reason that a lot of us hold back from really being in our greatness. So how do you be in your wonderful greatness? How do you feel empowered? You focus on what you are good at. Don't worry about the things you're not good at, because you can actually bring in team members to complement you, people who are great at those other areas, right? We're all great at something. So what is your greatness? And that is where I want you to start. And that is, what's your strength? So there's some area of your life where you've always been good at something. You've probably been such a natural at it that you didn't even think it was anything special. So our goal is to help you find that, and then we expand that into a whole series of books, trainings, a business, whatever it is for you that's your goal. So that's the S in my STARS system, which is focus on your strengths, because that's really where you're in your power. Then the T is for building your tribe or your target market. And the reason I really like the word tribe, which I didn't invent, I believe it was Seth Godin who invented it, but I love it as a word because we are tribal creatures at heart. Most of us are actually being operated by our limbic brain, which is our deep subconscious, or our croc brain, as some people call it, and we just want to belong to something. So we tend to latch onto groups, so we'll fit into it, we'll join a community, we'll build a community, and a lot of us are not strategic about how they do that. And what I have found through trial and error, through many, many failures of picking the wrong tribes and aligning with the wrong people, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, is that you really got to think about who are the people you want to have 360 degrees around you. Who are the ideal clients that you want to be working with? Because most of us find that when we start a business, we've got like 80% of our people are high maintenance, 20% are fabulous. We haven't got time for the 20% that are recommending us to all their friends and wanting to spend money with us all the time, because we're looking after the 80% that are hard work. So you've got to really think about who are the people that you would really want to work with, because you'll target all your marketing and messaging to attract those people if you're doing this right. Who do you want on your team, your support team? Who are the people that are going to be, who can you trust? This is a big one for me. I've had people on my team repeatedly that they talk the talk, but they didn't walk the walk, right? So you need to know that the people that are working with your customers, the people that are supporting you, that have got your back, that you can trust them and they're in it for the long haul. So who do you want to be your suppliers? Who are you going to rely on to deliver your services and your software, etc.? So that's what I want you to think about when you're building a tribe. That's a foundational piece. Then once you're clear on that and you really thought about it and you start knowing how to attract the right people into your circle and who you want to start continuing to attract and grow with, then we move on to the A. This is where you start building your authority. So building your authority means starting to write your books. You take your magnificent message, which I'll help you articulate, and this will become quite clear as you're thinking about what are my strengths, who do I want to grow with, what do I want to build, what business do I want to build and with who, or what life do I want to build. Like, I'm personally going through a massive growth stage at the moment where I'm surrounding myself with some of the most amazing people, and it's all starting to really work for me on a super high level. So I know this works. I've seen it work for so many others. I've helped so many others tap into their dream networks and build their dream businesses. And now I'm finally looking after me, and I want to help you. Because what happens? The shoemaker's children always go without shoes, right? The shoemaker never gets around to gluing his own shoes, but not anymore. I'm automating my business, and I want to show you how you can do the same thing. So how am I doing that? I wrote books, I run webinars, I get out and do interviews with people, I do media. This is the kind of thing that you can start doing now to build your authority. And I'm speaking on stages with big speakers, some of the top speakers in the world. We're getting video of that. We're turning that into show reels and into videos like this. We're writing more books. So this is the A's. You start to really build your authority and your credibility. And can I tell you, I held myself back for years and years because I've got this problem. I want everyone to like me. So I was afraid that if I went out there and started telling people, I had made millions of dollars by the time I was 38 years old. I was clearly an expert in business, but I thought that if I started telling other people how they could create wealth, not only in business, but I'd already created lots of wealth in real estate, and then I turned my attentions to the stock market. But I thought that people would think that I didn't have enough experience, that I thought people would doubt me, and so I didn't get my books out for years. I just kept thinking that I needed to be more experienced, I needed to have a degree, or I needed to have more education, more credibility. And so all those people I could have been helping, I wasn't helping. In fact, I was really doing a disservice to them by keeping all that knowledge to myself. Since I finally got out of my own way, I've been able to help hundreds and hundreds, and in fact, probably thousands of people to create more wealth and get clarity in their lives. So what's exciting about this is nobody's ever asked me to prove my experience. Nobody has ever asked me to prove it. So don't worry about that. I've had like one person write me a bad review that was really hurtful, and we got Amazon to take it down. So don't worry about that. Just get into your power and really start making a difference, and we'll help you building that whole authority. Then the R is reach. And this is where you start really getting out and expanding your network and telling more people about what you do. So by now you'll have a pretty good foundation in place. You'll know who you want to work with, who you're working with already. You'll be clear on your strengths, your message. You'll be giving your talks, you'll be doing your books, you'll have your authority in place. Now you can start expanding your reach, which means starting to use that social media, really getting clever with whichever social media, for instance, is a good fit for you. So it might be doing lots of media for you. You might want to engage a PR firm to start getting you out there in front of millions of people in the media. It might be Facebook for you. For me, Facebook is a very, very powerful medium, but you might be heavily corporate and LinkedIn might be a better fit for you. So we'll have those conversations when we get to that stage. It might be Instagram. If you're in health and fitness, Instagram is huge. So there's a lot of different ways that you can start getting out and expanding your reach. And my advice is focus one at a time. Do one really masterfully, and when you have that working, then move on to the others, because there's so many out there. And then that moves us on to the last S in the STARS system, which is to scale with systems. And this is where you can start to really automate. This is where you can start building in that fabulous lifestyle and freedom to your business. You can start to set up all your training one-to-many, like I'm doing now. I have this chat with a lot of my clients on a regular basis, but now I can actually put it on my website and you can all benefit. It's recorded once and I can deliver it again and again, and I want that for you. So you can now start to automate your message, automate your systems. You can start plugging into some high-level CRMs, customer relationship management systems, sales systems. There's some fantastic technologies and they all integrate beautifully together. This is the best time ever to start automating your business, because systems that used to cost tens of thousands are now available for literally a few dollars to, free. Some of them are even free, up to a few $100s a month. So if you were ever going to do it, this is the best time. And that's what you can start doing with scale and systems. And it's a very complex conversation that you have at the end of the process that I've just taken you through. And it's one of the areas that I see a lot of people get really stuck in, particularly if you're a person that's highly technical, or you're the personality type that wants to know how everything is going to be done. So you might meet me and I might say, hey, I can help write, publish, and promote your book and take you to bestseller and help you turn it into hundreds of thousands of dollars. And your first question might be, how? How does that work? Now, if you're that kind of person, you probably have a tendency to get so caught up in the how that you'll never launch. So I encourage all my clients, if you really want to start building your authority brand and you really want to get out there and you want to get those books written and you want to get out on the media, social media, building your business, making a difference in the world, then you got to let go of that how and just trust. You got to trust that these days we know how to show you how to execute this stuff so quickly. And we're not the only ones. There's lots and lots of mentors today who can show you how to take your experience, deliver it on video like this, or through Facebook Live or LinkedIn videos. There's so many great ways now that you can actually get out there and start articulating your message one-to-many. I encourage you to do it in a professional way. Don't put a whole bunch of bad video out there that doesn't do you justice. And be clear on the legals and everything around your messaging as well, particularly if you have a topic that's a bit controversial, or if you're in finance or wealth creation. You need to know that there are certain things that you've got to say, like legal disclaimers. And if you're in health, you want to be a little bit careful that you don't you're taking people's lives in your hand when you give them advice. So this is another reason why it's good to have a mentor and have a good support team around you that includes people that know the legals. You might want to protect your intellectual property. So anyway, we're going to be going on a great journey together. I just wanted to explain to you about how you could create your signature talk. That's my 5-part system. I use it in a lot of my books and chapters. When I get out and speak, and people really enjoy it, it gives them clarity. What's your system? And it can be 3 steps, it could be 7 steps. I don't really encourage you to go much longer than that, because you've got to remember it. So and your audience has to absorb it, and people can absorb up to about 7 steps before they're going to overwhelm. So I'm Cydney Sullivan. Hope you got some great value out of that, and I'll see you in the next video.